What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be episode 2 of this 2JZ 350Z swap right behind me. In the previous video you saw us doing some radiator work, some bracketry, and some intercooler mounting. If you remember, if you haven't seen it, I'll link down in the description below previous video for this car. This is actually a customer's car. It's in here for a little bit of fab work, and we actually got Jake and Joey both today working, and myself, and I just want to go over our progress today and what we got done so far and what we still have left to do. So let me show you around. Here's the kit the customer supplied us with. This is a 3-inch intercooler piping kit. You can purchase this anywhere, Amazon, eBay, and it comes with a few pipes, some hose, and some clamps. Some boots and some couple bags of clamps. So if you're looking to purchase something like that, it comes with 2 45s, 2 90s, 2 180s, and 2 straight pieces. I only have one over here because Jake's cutting up the other one to make some pie cuts for some tight ends that we need to go around. Anyway, we're going to go to the front of the car, and I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to route all this tubing, and it's going to be looking pretty sweet when we're done. Over here, our request was basically from the guy is to run his left-hand side intercooler piping right through this OEM opening, and our plan is over here is because this run is so short, going down to this 90 elbow, and there's really no good way to run, you know, the 90 that comes in the kit to make it easier. So you kind of have to make a whole bunch of pie cuts to make this happen, and there's a bumper on top of it. So this pipe's going to be really short, but it's going to look awesome when it's all done. Jake actually made some pie cuts over here, and he's still over there chopping them down because we're going to need a lot more. Basically the whole run is going to be made out of pie cuts, just because we got to clear this light and go into this OEM opening. And it's going to look something like that. It's going to have a straight coming up here, and then right around this area we're going to lay out a whole bunch of pie cuts going to our throttle body. There's a few already in there tacked in. We just got to get a couple more, and then we can start putting them together. And also we end up cutting this OEM bash bar out and putting some rubber strips on it so your pipe can sit in there nice and tight, and in case it does flex under boost, it's not going to rattle or anything. And we cut that nice and even. So if you guys are trying to, looking for the same setup, you can do something like that or similar. And also on the same side, we're going to be setting up a blow-off valve. So our idea behind it, the blow-off valve is going to be sitting right in this area. So we're going to have a short straight coming out basically to this third level, and on that pipe we're going to have a blow-off sitting right underneath of this. So it's going to look nice, clean, and functional. So we're pretty stoked on how this is going to come out. It's going to be very cool once it's welded together. And this is the trickier side. The other side is going to be a little bit easier, a little more straight forward. And I know somebody in the comment section asked about the intercooler lower bracket. So this is an 1/8 inch aluminum that we end up putting the joggle in it, and it's going to go to your OEM bone that comes already welded to the intercooler, and your OEM brace has rib nuts on the bottom. So we just made it right length and right angle, so you can just bolt them right up on the bottom there. This is pretty nice sturdy piece. Intercooler is not going to go anywhere, and there's going to be one on each side. And on the right side of the car, if you come closer over here, we're going to have to basically cut a little bit of this turbo outlet out and put this 90-degree vibrant elbow on, and run it down towards the front corner. And then we had to clear some of this area out right here just to tuck the pipe as far as possible, so there's no wheel clearance issue once the car's at full lock. Eventually what it's going to look like is it's going to come through here, and this is still needs to be all, you know, set, cut, measured, and molded, but it's going to be a little simpler. There's going to be a 90 coming out of the turbo, and then a few pipe cuts just to send it straight, and these two will meet right over here in the engine bay. It will also give it a nice clean look, straightforward, and there's going to be a 90 coupler out of your intercooler. That's basically our plan for right now, is to get these pipes tacked on and get them all welded. So it's going to look awesome. I'm super stoked about it, and I can't wait till it's done. Jake's actually over there making some pie cuts and getting them prepped. So if you walk over here, you can see what he's got going on over here.
So pie cuts, see them online. They look pretty cool. You can order them like pre-cut. We just decided to make our own. We didn't need that many, so these are 9 degree. So it's 18 degree, I think, like in total angle. So from center line it's 9 degrees off, and I just use the little gauge, set it to 9, run it through the bandsaw, and then I actually take just a piece of sandpaper, stick it down on there so you can get like nice tight gaps. Once I get it through the bandsaw, I'll just do a little buff on both sides so you get nice tight fit. I make my back 350 thousandths. I just set it off of the bandsaw itself. So that's the pie cuts. They're not too bad. Just take your time, make sure you get something flat, put the sandpaper on, get you nice tight gaps. You don't want big gaps. I mean, you can weld them if you want, but it's easier if they're nice closed up for this aluminum. And make sure it's clean. What's nice about them, I'm sure a lot of people know, is you can get multiple compound bends as opposed to just hacking a 90 out of a pipe. They tend to be a lot, the radius is wider. So these are 9 degrees. If you wanted to, it's 18 degrees total. If you wanted to go actually 9 degree, just 4.5 on the gauge right here when you're passing it through, and that'll give you a 9 degree total. So it'll just be a thinner overall pie cut.
This is the next day, and we are pressing on with our intercooler piping. So far it's coming out great, and I can't wait to show you what it looks like. So let's check it out. Here is our left side of the car, and this is completely a custom pipe that we basically made it from scratch. This is all pipe cuts, exception of this bottom piece, just one straight, and then it goes all the way down to your throttle body, and it came out pretty nice. Everything fits great, clearance all the way around, and it goes straight in there, and there's your boot. So Jake ended up tacking all these pie cuts together, and this took a long time, guys. You already know if you ever done pie cut welding or cutting them yourself, this is very time consuming, but one way or another it came out very good, and it's gonna look sweet when it's all welded together. So far I've been working on our right side of the car. We have made, so original plan for this side was to use a 90 degree elbow, the rubber boot, and then use one of the pipes to go down and up, but it wasn't working out. It wasn't lining up where we wanted to. So what we end up doing is cutting some more pie cuts like that, and we made a 90, which is right here. So far right now it's taped up, so you can't really see it, and then making a straight piece that goes into your rubber boot or a coupler, and they made it a lot tighter, and it fits way better, and it goes exactly where we want it. And then we utilized one of the 90 long pieces from the kit and just basically cut it down the sides, and it came out exactly where we wanted it, which is right in this area. And it still needs to be cut down a little bit because we're going to use another 90 right over here to meet our turbine housing. And this one we end up cutting some of the material off because we're putting a 90 degree elbow on it. and basically just a boot and a short straight, and that will complete our intercooler piping. And I have just a example piece for now. This is what it's going to look like, something like that. Obviously the left side of, or the right side of the piping needs to be trimmed down to meet that, a little bit lower, but so far it's coming out great. We did have to shave this down on the angle a little bit, as you can see, because it was pointing down when you put it against the housing right over there, and it was pointed straight at this frame rail. So we did have to give it a little slight angle so it would sit straight. Right now we're going to work on tacking up all our pie cuts for the right side of the vehicle, and then trimming the big 90 elbow down so we can fit it all together, and it's going to come out excellent.
Alright, so these are the two pie cut elbows. We ran with these because it's a much tighter radius, as you can see, and we're limited on space in the front. So we went with the pie cuts. They're just tacked in right now. We're mocking up, building from the intercooler to the actual turbo housing, the compressor housing. So that's why we went with the pie cut, so we can get these tight angles, because we're limited on space in the front of this car. So the first one, I cut about a 3.5 inch piece with the barb or the rolled edge on it, so it'll be a nice fit for the clamp. So we'll get that on there. We're gonna fit this up, and then we got our long piece right here. This elbow will fit in the area that we need, the space we need, so we're just going to utilize this. Saves a little bit of time, and there's no need for the actual pie cut that's up underneath the wheel. You're not going to see that, so we're going to fit this piece in here. And then this is another tight radius pie cut. They're 9 degrees on each side, so 18 degree total. 5 pieces required. That gets you a nice solid 90 degree fitting. This piece up here, we'll have to trim some of this off, and even some of this, the two seams from the forward frame rail, we're gonna have to notch that out a little bit. We're gonna try to keep a nice radius so there's no stress risers. We don't have to go too much. We don't have to go all the way down to the actual frame rail itself, but this is going to be located up here. I got to trim this down once I get this tacked in on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and tack on the cast iron elbow on the bottom of the turbo housing. We had to trim some of the factory housing off. It's just plenty of meat on there left to weld. I still got to V it out so I can get a nice deep root pass on the weld. And then we're gonna put the cast iron elbow on. So this is where we're gonna pick up. So we'll be back in a little bit and show you what we got.
All right, guys, this is Jake just stacked out this big elbow right here, and this is what our pipes come to look like. Check it out. Come closer right over here, and you can see how nice it's actually starting to lay out. And we're gonna have plenty of wheel clearance once we're going to be at full lock. There's going to be no interference with our between our wheel and our coolant pipe. And then the only thing that's left to do, we're almost finished here. We got our elbow, and we already marked it where we want to position it. So as soon as we're going to pull this off, and we made our marks where we're going to have it at, so we're going to go tack that up, and then we will cut our final 90 degree and our straight pipe right over here, and we'll assemble everything together. All right, guys, there you have it. We just put our few last pieces in, and it got all tacked in. It came out pretty nice. We're happy with the results. So check it out. Both pipes are finished off, and all left to do is just weld it all together. That was a tedious work. A lot of pipe cuts going into it, but if you want to make it look good and right, that's what it takes. So I hope you guys like the way it came out. Comment down below. We're gonna call it a wrap for the night. It's getting pretty late. It's been a long day. We're gonna pick this up a different day and get it all wrapped up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for a free giveaway. Comment down below what you like, what you don't like, so it'll help us out and make better videos. And let us know what you like to see next. With that being said, I'll see you next time. Take it easy.